studying, learning, working back at your places. Alright, without further wasting any moment of our time, since we are here for 2 hours. Okay, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned yesterday. Okay, fine. It was the day 1 of SQL Bootcamp, wherein we started from the meaning of the word data. Data क्या होता है? जो कि raw information. When you organize data properly into rows and columns, I gave you an example of cupboard yesterday, correct? जैसे हम cupboard में चीजें रखते हैं in proper shelf, right? Or in your table, maybe in the proper drawers. Similarly, you need to organize data properly in the form of rows and columns. Okay, it is called as a table. That place is called as a table. Several tables together forms a database, like a sales database or a customer database or a company database, finance database, thereby connecting all the financial tables inside, data inside, correct? And when 2 tables inside the database are interconnected, related, it forms relational databases. Is that correct? Fine. Okay, we'll see today how to connect 2 tables, how to send the data from one table into another table. Okay, that was the first part of the lecture yesterday. And then we moved on to understand what is SQL, why do we need SQL. In a short one line to explain, SQL is a language needed to deal with the data. It's a programming language exclusively developed to communicate with the data inside the table. That is, to retrieve the data, insert the data, edit the data, update, alter, etc. Alright, fine, okay. After understanding some theoretical aspects of SQL, we learned what is MySQL. It's an IDE to write SQL code, how to download and install MySQL. I expect today most of our friends who are present. Okay, my friend, okay, fine. I'll be using pure English as you're from Kenya and you cannot understand Hindi. I noted that. Okay, Steepers, I noted that. Okay, I'll speak maximum in English. Is it fine? Okay. Amisha, my voice is not clear. Okay, is my voice not clear only to Amisha or anyone else as well? Okay, I would be glad if you could reply to me in the chat section. Is my voice clear now? Okay, is it clear now, Amisha? Is this clear now? Would be glad if you could reply to me. Is my voice clear? The voice is low. Okay. Let me check that, please. Let me check that. How about now? How about now? Okay, yes, better now. Fine. Alright. In case if you find any issue in the voice, please let me know in the chat section. Okay, please let me know in the chat section in case if you find the voice low or any problem in the video as well. Okay, fine. Good. Thank you. Fine. What you lost that I was speaking was, I was having a quick recap of what we learned yesterday. Okay, I gave you, okay, thank you, fine. Thank you for that confirmation, that voice is better now. Okay, I narrated you the history of SQL, how it came into existence. Then we learned how to install MySQL. I told you yesterday that you make sure when you are attending the sessions, you are attending with your systems and laptops on that MySQL installed, so that you can work simultaneously along with me. Is that okay? Fine. I don't know how many of you are attending here with the computers and laptops with yourself, but try to do that. At least sit with books and pen to note important points. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, after installing MySQL, we launched MySQL Workbench, and then we started creating table using the create table query. Later we started inserting rows using the insert into table query, and so on. Is that clear? Fine. Okay. Yesterday, post lecture, that is after the lecture, I had several queries about alter, update, and select clause. So let's spend somewhere around 4-5 minutes of time and have a quick recap and hands on them. Okay, please have a look. So, okay, this is my MySQL Workbench. Okay. Oh, okay, fine. Let it be launched. It's launching, friends. It's launching. Let it be launched. Okay. If you have remembered, MySQL always will ask you to provide your login details because it's an account protected application. Is it right? Unlike your Notepad, WordPad, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word, it won't open when you click to it. It will ask you to log in. So you have to create a new connection here. If you could see this plus sign where my mouse pointer is currently at, and the connection will be stored in it login detail. Okay, if I want, I can use yesterday's connection also, which is stored with me here. That is SQL day 1. But I would like to revise it, therefore I create a new one. Okay, some of them have joined late yesterday, so let me click to this plus. Okay, connection name, let me say SQL day 2. To test connection, it will ask you to enter the admin's password. My password is 1234. You enter your password that you might have set during installation. Okay, a successful connection with SQL has been made. We say okay, and you find the connection created. Come on, click to SQL day 2 and you will be given a right direct entry inside MySQL Workbench. Okay, fine. So MySQL is a kind of Workbench is a kind of GUI interface where you can write SQL queries, SQL commands, SQL code and achieve the output. Alright. Okay, I'm writing the schema tab. You could see a schema means tables and databases. Fine. But today, as the day is new, let us create a new database. Everyone, Amisha, Stephen, and rest of my friends who are attending here. Okay, please keep asking your question as a comment or your doubts. Okay. So let me say create database and name of the database. So this is day 2. You can name your database anything. You can name your database anything. Okay, so the green tick indicates query executed successfully. But before creating the table, you have to let know MySQL Workbench which database to use to create a table. Okay, so let me use this one. Use date. Okay. Once you say use day 2 means henceforth all the tables below will be created under day 2. Is it? That's necessary people to mention which database to use after creating the database. Because not only day 2, I refresh this list please once. So not only day 2, there are 100 other databases present here. So when I write create table, database or a table must be created under which schema. Got it? Fine. So let me say create a new table today. Product. Okay, let's take customer. Okay, say customer ID, which is an integer, because it's a numeric data for me. You want, you can declare it as string, and customer name. Okay, because name is not numeric data, we consider it to be varchar. If you have forgotten what is varchar, varchar is a data type to declare string in MySQL. Alright, like Java offers you string, Python offers you string, SQL offers you varchar or even text. Both of it is fine. Today we'll see the difference between the two, varchar and text. Oh, I don't know. Are you hearing an echo? Okay, let me solve this problem, please. Amisha, are you also hearing an echo? One moment, give me a moment of time. Let me solve this issue of echo. One moment, please. Okay, wait, stay connected for a moment. I used to solve this issue of echo. I don't know how many of you are facing that. Okay, is this fine now? Is this fine now? If somebody could acknowledge, are you still hearing an echo? Is this fine now? Okay, would be glad if you could be little quick in the chat section so that we can go ahead. Bonaki Sifer and Amisha, as you two are asking, so is this fine? Like, are you still hearing an echo? Hurry up, friends. Is there still an echo? No. Okay, thank you so much for that, Amisha. Thank you. Fine. Bonaki Stiffer, in case if you also have the issue of echo, still let me know. I'll look into how to resolve it. Okay? Fine. Let's go ahead, please. So, customer ID, that's an integer. And customer name, it is string of length 10. Okay. Any problem as a voice issue, or video issue, broadcast issue, speed issue, please let us know in the chat section as quick as possible. Okay, because it doesn't make sense to attend the class with so many technical issues. Okay, we will look from our end. We will look from our end how best we can help you out. Okay, anyways, I just created a database day 2 and I created a table customer with 2 columns, customer ID and customer name in this database. Okay, you could see the table has been created. Fine. Okay, now I want to okay, I want to add one more column in the table. Okay, I said I want to add one more column in the table. Fine, so what can I do is we will use the query alter table. Okay, this is something that we have already learned yesterday, how to use an alter query. Alter query is used in 3 different ways. Have a look please how one by one. Okay, thank you people, fine. So alter table, first have a look at the syntax of it please. Okay, so alter table, you can do 3 things. Actually, alter query can do much things. But as of now, we are using alter for the 3 things. That is, add column or modify an existing column or drop an existing column. Okay, right? Fine. So alter table, the table name. It can do 3 things. Alter can either add a new column in the table. Now, why you can't do update? That's the difference between command difference. Okay, fine. Give me a moment of time. Okay. How about now? How about now? Rajkamal. Better now, Rajkamal? Voice is not clear. Is it better now? Guys, be quick in the chat section, students. If you are quick, we would be able to complete on time. Rajkamal, Sleeper, Amisha. I think Viral is also here with us. Is it better now? Okay, perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine, correct? Okay, fine. Still, in case if anything is troublesome, let us know. We'll find a way out. Okay, I think from my end there is no issue. Once check from yours end as well. Okay, anyways, difference between update and alter. Okay, that is update versus alter. Fine. Remember, alter was a category of command that comes in DDL, whereas update is a command that comes under SQL category DML. So what's DDL for? If anybody could quick respond to me in the chat section. Have you remembered yesterday? What's DDL for? Right? What's the difference between these 2 groups of command, DDL and DML? Yes. Any answer from your end, DDL people? It's a data definition language. So it's like when you want to define something new. So all those commands come under the SQL category or SQL group of DDL. Like creating a table or deleting a table. That means you are playing around with the new structure, correct? But when it comes to edit, like you want to edit the data or content of the table. Okay, say if you want to delete the data or if you want to update any data inside the table. Yes, data manipulation language. You are right. Correct, Rajkamal. Thank you. Fine. You can call it as manipulation language. You can even call it as a data modification language. Both the definitions and full form goes right. Fine. But here we are more focusing upon the difference between the two. So when it comes, remember this way you will never forget. When it comes to editing, that means we are using DML commands. And then when it comes to creating or demolishing, am I right? Creating or demolishing, that means we are talking about the definition commands. Alright. Now using alter table, you are playing around, you are working with the structure of the table. Therefore, it's a definition language. Okay, come on, let's quickly have a look at how alter command does these three tasks. How does it add a new column, delete an existing column, modify an existing column? Got it? Although we have done it yesterday, but since post the lecture yesterday, I got many doubts or as a concept quiz. That's the reason. Fine. Anyways, alter table, table name, that is customer. Now I want to alter this table by adding a new column. So let me say add column. Alright. If you want to add a new column, only two things you need to provide. That's column name and its data type. Okay, so customer ID, customer name, already the two columns present in the table. I want customer table also to have customer address. Okay, so let me add a new column, customer address, which is of the data type string, that is varchar. Okay, address ideally is a large data, means length large in size. So let me not keep just length 10, let us keep it 100 and semicolon. Okay, the query has executed successfully. If you want to see this column has been newly added or not, the column got added or not, there are two ways you can do it, friends. मैंने जो alter किया हुआ के नहीं, what alteration I did actually got affected or not. How to check it? There are two ways. One that we have learned yesterday. Why don't you simply open the table and check the content? So select start from customer. Okay, so it has opened the table with all the blank rows. That's true because we have not yet inserted any data. Is it right? Okay, Amisha was asking. Okay, thank you, Rajkamal. You're very correct. In fact, your query only I have written it here. Good. Be active this way in the comment chat section. That help us out very much. Okay, Amisha, at the end of the class yesterday you were asking asterisk means what? Asterisk means all the columns. Right? What else you can write other than asterisk? Please, other than asterisk, what else you can write? After select the syntax of the query need column name. समझ रही हो आप बात? After select, syntax needs the name of the column. But what if the table contains 100 columns? Of course, you can't expect me to write names of the 100 columns one by one. Is it right? Instead of writing 100 column names one by one, it makes sense just to write asterisk, which is a special character whose meaning is all columns. Is that correct? Fine, Amisha, I would be glad if you could acknowledge me in the chat box your yesterday's query is clear or not. Fine, so instead of asterisk, I just want to display the column customer ID. So it is going to select, actual meaning of select means what? Retrieve the data. Yes, Rajkamal, that's inserting, correct. Okay, so if I write just customer ID, it will open only one column. If I write customer ID, customer name, it's going to select two columns. Customer ID, customer name and customer address, it's going to select three columns. But then why to write the three column names when asterisk could do your work in a simple way? Is it right? Anyways, the alter command has altered the table up and it has added one column. It has added one column. People, now I realize address length 100. Listen to my question carefully. This is something we haven't done yesterday and many people after the class came up with a doubt. So I thought to solve that out. Length of the address is 100. Now I realize it's too large length. I want to restrict the length to 70 characters only. So that means you want to modify the column. Column is already existing. You don't want to add a new one. Correct? The column is existing. You don't want add a new one, you want to edit the setting of an existing column. So how can I do that? Once again say alter table, table name customer. No, this time not add a new column. Column is already existing. Modify column. Right? So you have to be very particular and clear about what type of alteration you want to do upon the table. Isn't it? Out of three special operations, add, delete, modify, which one you want to do, you have to be very clear about it. Okay, so select table or alter table customer, modify column. Which column you want to modify? Customer address. Fine. So for column to be modified, make sure the column is at first place existing. Because of the existing column can be modified. Is it? उसे modify होने के लिए exist होना जरूरी है. That's what I'm attempting to say. Okay. Fine. So modify column customer address है where and this time 70. I think I forgot semicolon in the end. That's the reason it is giving me a syntax error. I hope, by the way, you remembered what is the use of semicolon in the end. That is to terminate the query. Select customer and fetch only ID on the customer table. Yes, Raj Kamal. Good, thanks. I read your comment now. Okay, मैंने आपका text अभी पढ़ा. ठीक है. So table has been altered. Fine. So I told you there are two ways to check the table got altered or table got created or not. One way is to select and open the table. But when you select and open the table, there is one problem with this output. See like this. You will come across one issue. Look, the three columns is displayed here, but we cannot check the data types of the column. Correct? See how it got edited from 100 to 70. Whether it got altered also or not. So what's another way you can use a query called as describe? Okay, so describe customer. Alright, now when you write describe, it opens the table not in a data mode, right, but in a let me say column detail mode. Fine. So what this output says, say it contains three columns: customer ID, customer name, customer address. Where customer ID is of the type integer, name is varchar 10, and address is varchar 70. Okay, fine. Raj Kamal is asking me that you please delete the column customer name. Let's do that, please. Let's do that. So alter table, and now I realize I don't wanted that new column customer address. So alter table customer, drop column. Okay, Raj Kamal, you're right, but instead of delete, you need to write drop. Okay, delete works in case if it's Oracle 11G. MySQL follows drop keyword. Okay, so drop column. Which column you want to drop? Customer or customer address. Okay, of course it makes sense. While deleting a column, you don't have to mention the data type, because whatever is an existing data type of the column, that will be made to drop. Okay, fine. So the acknowledgement in the action output box shows me the query got executed successfully. The query got executed, correct? But as a responsible developer, you please verify ऐसा हुआ कि नहीं. Okay, whether this happened or not. Fine. So describe customer. Fine. The table has only two columns this time, as customer address got dropped. Fine. So this is the use of the alter query. Alter query can alter the table in three different ways. Come on, quickly summarize. We have a lot more to do ahead. Okay, it can add a new column, it can delete an existing column, it can modify an existing column. Alright, alter query we can use even to change the names of the column. As and when the time comes, we'll see that. Okay, fine. Alright, let me quickly insert the record in the customer table. So how do I do that? I think Raj Kamal has already written that query for us. How to insert a new row. Alright, what about insert? In which category of SQL command would it come? DDL or DML? बताइए. Insert will come under which group of command, DDL or DML? Using insert, are you creating any new structure or what? Like a table or a database, are you creating any new structure? No. Am I right? You are editing the data. Inserting the data means what? Adding the new data. That means editing the content of the table, correct? So because it is editing the content of the table by adding new row, therefore it comes under data modification language. Good, right. My friend, your answer is right. That's DML group. Correct. Good. Be active this way in the chat section. As I told you, it helps us a lot to understand you are getting it or not. So insert into customer values. Okay, thank you, Amisha. Correct. Okay, fine. Insert number. No, Rajkamal. Phone number. Data type you have to follow either int for integer or numeric. Okay, number again works with your MS SQL server or MySQL. I'm sorry, Oracle. Okay, you are right, although just the data type is not number but numeric. Okay, anyways, insert into customer values. So say ID being integer, I write 1. And customer name, let me say John. Okay, enter. I insert another row in the table. Customer number 2, say this is Mr. Jack. Okay, this is Jack. Whether these two rows got inserted also or not, once again select all the columns of all the rows from the table. Customer. Is it right? Once I execute an update query, because these were a lot of questions yesterday, what is the difference between update and alter? Once we'll clear it out. Say the name of the second customer is not Jack, it is Jackson. So that doesn't mean you want to alter the structure of the table. You want to edit data inside the table, correct? So when you want to edit the data of the table, we'll be using update. But when you want to modify the structure of the table by deleting a column, adding a new column, changing the data type of the column, you will have to use the alter. Okay, please keep acknowledging in the chat box, guys. Are you understanding or not? Keep acknowledging. Okay, so let me do that. Say update customer. No need to write update table customer, just update customer. How? Set name, I think the column name is customer name, right? Set customer name as Jackson, where ID or customer ID. Okay, you need to remember the column names well. Otherwise, use describe query to print the names of the column if you have forgotten. Where customer ID is equal to 2. Okay, fine. So let me do that. Okay, same problem that we encountered yesterday. You are using safe update mode. Okay, if you're getting that problem, so set SQL safe mode equals 0. Okay, SQL safe updates. Alright, fine. That's an internal issue. Ignore it, please. But you keep in mind, if you come across this error, that you are working in a safe update mode. So make sure that you disable the safe mode to let all the other queries execute. That's only for security. Okay, so update customer, set customer name is Jackson, and so on. Alright, fine. Okay, so that's all about the update and alter queries. Okay, now next topic that we start up with SQL is constraint. People, constraint. It's a very important thing to understand. What are constraints? Okay, so here I come to let's start with constraint first, then we will go to data type. Okay, so constraints are a type of restriction that is put across. 1 minute please. Okay, constraints, people. Okay, it's a kind of restriction that is applied upon the column. Alright, you force columns to follow a particular rule. 1 second. Update customers said contacting. Yes, correct, Raj. You are right. You are right. The only difference is you have written for customer ID 1 and I have written that query for customer ID 2. That's it. No issue. Good, my friend. Thank you for that. Okay, so constraints, if you could go as per English meaning of the word constraints, it's like, you know, creating some kind of hurdles or objections. The same is the meaning applicable here. You will be enforcing some restrictions upon the column to make it follow some. Okay, the first constraint, let us see what is a primary key. Those who did not understand my definition of constraint, like restrictions or prohibitions upon the column, for some do's and don'ts. Okay, some kind of restrictions, some kind of prohibitions. Sorry to say, Sifar, I'm just speaking a statement in Hindi here for some of our other friends who are present. Okay, जैसे आप किसी कॉलम के डेटा पर पाबंदी लगा देते हो कि भाई आपको ये फॉलो करना है या ये फॉलो नहीं करना है. That's what I spoke as do's and don'ts. So the first constraint let us talk about is a primary key. We are learning this constraint never to forget throughout the IT career, as this will always follow you on the back end. In fact, these constraints are one of the features that defines back end. Okay? Okay, constraint means rules. You are right, Rajkamal. In fact, you made my work easy. Rajkamal, okay. Fine. Actually, there are some people here who are from other countries, so they are requesting not to speak in Hindi. I'll keep speaking in both the languages. Let's compromise that way, okay? Fine. Or we'll work out upon some separate sessions only on Hindi for those of our audiences who are requesting Hindi as a language. Okay? Fine. Good. Thank you, please. Okay, coming here. Fine. So let's create all together a different table. Okay, let's create a new table. So let me say create table. Okay, let's do one thing before creating a new table. See, so select star from customer. Okay, so customer ID 1, John. Thank you. Customer number 2, Jack. Okay, I insert one more customer. So insert into customer values. Customer number 3. And the name of the customer is suppose Raj. Okay, data got inserted. Okay, now let me do copy paste, although I can edit the same line. Say customer number 4 is Rajesh. While copy pasting and editing, I made Raj as Rajesh, but I forgot to change 3 to 4 and I execute the query. आपने राज को तो राजेश कर दिया, बट कस्टमर आईडी को 3 से 4 किया ही नहीं. Unintentionally or by mistake. If you could open the table and check now. So there are 2 rows that exist whose ID is 3. Is that correct? Now what usually happens, customer code or customer ID, that should be the unique information about the customer. That means SQL should restrict IDs to be repeated. Am I right? For example, in a classroom, there are 2 students or 2 boys by the same name Mukesh, but roll numbers of the student code would be different. How can there be 2 roll number 1 or how can there be 2 roll number 10? There can be 10 boys or 10 girls by the same name, but each of these boys or each of these girls with the same name will have their different roll numbers, which will be the unique information about them. Correct? Fine. So that column always hold unique information, we have to declare such column as a primary key. Okay, that's what is the definition of the primary key. If I could quickly take you up to my slide. So primary key always ensure that a column has a unique data. Of course, for those of my friends who are thinking, we can easily edit 3 to 4 or 4 to 3. But आप कितना editing करोगे? Is that correct? So that my front end data entry operator should not by mistake enter 3 2 times or 4 times or 5 times. It should stop her by giving an error. You must put some kind of specific condition behind in the backend, correct? That's primary key. Okay, so it ensures that each column contains first of all unique value. And once a column you declare, what do you mean by unique, people? It's not duplicate, correct? That's what is the meaning of being unique. So an object which I hold in my hand is unique, for example. That means nobody else have it. Is it right? Nobody else possesses it or nobody else can have it. That's what is the meaning of unique here in the data. Customer number 1 is unique. This number 1 cannot repeat for some other customer in the other records, correct? So that's what is the essence and meaning of primary key. Right? Also, it ensures that column does not contain null values. What is null value? Now I'll show you while inserting row. But do remember, a table can have only one primary key. Understood? We have many constraints. After primary, you will see a unique key also. That is the same definition of unique key. Column who is the unique key will not allow duplicate values. Then what's the difference between primary key and unique key? Understood? ये जो आप बोल रहे हो भाई ये तो unique key से भी हो सकता है. 1, 2, 3, 4 this will remain unique. The difference between primary and unique key is a table can have many columns as a unique key, but primary key in the table is only one. Understood? You can join many columns and create one primary key, that is okay. But once declared a column or a group of columns as a primary key, you cannot declare second time it in the same table. Okay, so that's most of the facts about the primary key, although I haven't yet spoken an important point about primary key, which I will tell you while programming. Okay, so please have a look. It contains, it's unique and contains, yeah, correct, fine. Okay. Yes, unique means not duplicate data. You are right, my friend. Very correct. Thanks for all this explanation in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, okay. So what we do, let me delete this table customer. So I said drop table customer. Okay, see, I have dropped the table, not just deleted rows from the table. Pura table gaya. Okay, drop the table customer. Then create table customer. Customer ID, let me write in short please, CID, which is an integer, and you just have to write the keyword primary key after the name of the column. That means this column is a primary key. That's it. Now you cannot make one more column as a primary key again. Understood? Fine. So primary key customer ID, customer name, which is a string of length 10. Let me create only 2 columns. Less column, lesser will be the data entry. Correct? Lesser the number of columns, lesser will be the amount, volume of data entry. Okay, now customer ID or a CID is a primary key of the table. Try to insert some rows. So we say insert into customer values. Okay, customer number 1, Mr. John. Okay, then I enter customer number 2, Mr. Jack. Okay, data inserted. I hope you are keeping a check on this action output box. Green tick batata hai ke nahi? You are keeping a check on it. Okay, because if it shows red cross means query executed with error. Okay, again customer number actually 3, but by mistake I have written 2 intentionally. Say he is Raj. enter. This has given us an error. And what is an error this time? Duplicate entry 2 for primary key column. Is that correct? Because primary key will contain only unique data. Okay, fine. One more thing I show you, because Raj Kamal was talking about null over there, and even I was talking about null. People, this is called as null. Don't write null in quotes, it will make it as a string, people. This is not a null data. Actual meaning of null data is, okay, I repeat, actual meaning of the null data is a missing data. No, never call 0 is null. No, 0 is actually a data and holds value. You understood? 0 holds value. This is also not a null data. It's a blank data, or maybe a space. Got so space, 0, tab, these are not the null values. I hope you got my point. Right? Something which is missing, that's called as a null data. Okay, missing data, that's called as a null data. So if I try to insert a null data, it again gives me an error. CID, this column cannot be null. Alright, fine. You want, if you want, say customer number 3, instead of writing Raj here, if I write null, okay, it accepted. Yes, Raj can be null. And if you could see the table now, how the null data in the table looks like. Okay, so it has opened the table, customer ID 1 John, 2 Jack, 3 null. Null means it has shown you here null, but ideally it means it is missing. Hoping you are understanding. Is that correct? Fine. So that's all about the null data. We'll come across many situations when we will have a deeper look inside the null data. Is that correct? Fine. Okay. Now suppose the table already exists like this. Create table. Let me say new customer. Okay. Create table, new customer. Table is already existing. Customer ID integer. Customer name. Friends, this is important. Please try to understand. Customer name. This is also a string. I created the table. Table also got created. Check my execution here. Success हो गया. Understood? Ma'am, हम जिस पे primary key put करेंगे वो null नहीं होगा. Yes, Raj Kamal, you are right, my friend. Primary key can never ever be a null data. That's the difference. One more difference between primary key and a unique key. Unique key, let the content of the column unique always. Like if the customer name you have made it unique, there cannot be 2 Raj or 2 John or 2 Rajesh. It won't encourage or entertain duplicate data. But unique keys allow null values. Understood? Now what is the reason behind that? Let me tell you. Sometimes it makes sense to allow null values also, sometimes. Right? For example, contact number 1, contact number 2 while signing up a form. But I don't have contact number 2. Boys and girls, are you getting it? Alright, so contact information for contacting a company, either I have to connect to you at email or suppose fax. But we don't work with fax anymore. So the data inside the fax column will continue to remain null as accepted by the backend in the tables and databases. Got it? Fine. जो front end से data आया ही नहीं वो backend में जाएगा कैसा? That's the reason we leave it as null. Fine. Okay. Anyway, so this is a table called the new customer table got created. So insert into new customer values. Okay, let me not insert values as of now. Now what I wanted to show you is that this table got created, but now I realize after creating the table, ID should have been a primary key. Understood? So if you forget to give, if you have forgotten to declare a column as a primary key while creating a table, you can always alter. Check how. Okay. So alter table, new customer. Add constraint. There are 2-3 ways you can use alter. 2-3 three ways. In fact, here on my slide I have written as well. Understood? Add constraint. Let me show you the easy one first. Instead of add constraint, let me show you the easy one first. Add primary key. How we write add column? No, this time I don't want to add a column. Primary key is not a column. Primary key is a constraint, right? So I want to add primary key. To whom? Which column should be a primary key? That is CID. Okay. So this is how we have altered the customer table by adding primary key to customer add column. If I could execute that, okay, that query got executed successfully. Right? Other way you can do it. First, let me drop the primary key. How you do that? Okay. Let me create drop table. I'm dropping the table only. Okay, shortly I'll show you how to drop the primary key. I drop the table, I create this table again. Fine, drop table customer, and I created also the new table again. How is the other way you can do? See, alter table, new customer. Instead of writing add primary key, we write add constraint. No, not add primary key, add constraint and name of the constraint. Okay, say primary key customer. You can write any simple name here, ABC, XYZ, PQR. Video quality increase karo up. I think my video quality is already increased, my friend. Quality of the video is already very high. Okay, I'll still consider that, Rajkamal. I'll still consider. Is it somewhat visible or not? Readable at your end? No. Is that readable at your end? You are asking to increase the video, but it is already 720. Is that readable at your end? Okay, let me know in case if you are anybody who has problem in reading, let me know please. I'll see how can I do the best from my end. Visible. Okay, fine. I'll keep all this thing checked to a greater extent from the next classes as well. Okay. Okay. So the other way to create a new constraint is add constraint followed by name of the constraint. This was optional, people. When you create a primary key for a column, there is an option you can give some name also to the keys. Okay, this primary key, foreign key, as many keys as a constraint that you are creating, you can give some name to these keys also. Okay, वो आपके ऊपर है. So if you want to give some name to the primary key and add it, so the method would be alter table by adding a constraint, name of the constraint and type of the constraint. Say primary key. Which column you want as a primary key? CID. Okay, so let me execute this. Fine. Note it down, guys. Note it down. Two ways to alter a table to add a primary key. Suppose if the table is already created but primary key is missing, so you can alter the table instead of creating an entire new one. Understood? पूरा new बनाने से अच्छा तो यही होगा भाई, table को alter करो. कैसे alter करें? Either you write alter table, add primary key, which column? CID, or add a constraint. But if you say add constraint, you have to give some name to that constraint. Okay, now PK CID is not a column name of the table. इस table में तो कोई column नहीं है, but it's a name of the primary key in the table. Okay, now suppose you want to delete the primary key. All that you can do is alter table, new customer, drop, and the name of the primary key, that is PK CID. I hope you got my point. Understood? drop, that is pk-cid. Fine. Other way that you can do is, what happened? Did it create? I think it is giving me an error that multiple primary keys have been defined. So what I do is create a table, add primary key, and now delete primary key. Okay. Fine. Delete primary key. Alright, so just drop the primary key. Where am I? Here. Drop the primary key. Okay, fine, it's gone. Sorry for that confusion here. Okay, I was in my own rhythm. Instead of writing pkcid, you just have to say drop primary key, and since table will have only one primary key, you don't have to write the name. Straight away write drop the primary key. Table के पास एक ही primary key होता है, and the same will get deleted. Is that correct? Fine. So we have seen three things here, friends. Three things here. Summarize it quick. We are learning as if we never are going to forget. This is the syntax of primary key when you are creating a table. So create table, table name, column 1, data type, and primary key, followed by other columns. Right? Okay. While altering the table, either you can use add constraint to create a primary key, or add primary key to create a primary key. Okay, to delete the primary key, you just have to write alter table, table name, and drop primary key. Is that correct? All of us. Fine. Okay, if this was a primary key, have a quick check on what is unique key. Okay, say I create a table. Okay, I create a table. Create table student. Okay, student ID, which is an integer, student name, which is varchar, and student contact number. Okay, phone number or contact number, which is also a string. Okay, contact number. People have a habit of declaring phone number as a string. Just because it is number, it should be integer, it doesn't apply. Understood? Ideally, contact numbers are strings only. Sometimes it contains alphanumeric character like hyphen, 91 hyphen. Say 91 country code for India, hyphen, followed by 10-digit mobile number. So how will you put hyphen if it is not a string, correct? All of us? Okay, in between, please verify in the chat box, audio, video, all perfect? Audio, video, सब बराबर है? ठीक है? Keep it written in the chat section. I go ahead from here. So create table. How many columns in the table? Student ID, student name, and the contact number. Okay, student ID I declare as a primary key. Okay, fine. Actually, I created the table. 1 minute. Okay, I have dropped the table. Student ID is a primary key. Thank you, thank you. And student name I want to be unique. Are you understanding? Student name I want it to be unique. So I declare it as unique. Alright, the way you write name after the column, constraint name, same way. जैसे primary key लिखा था. Okay, similarly you will write your unique to declare the column as unique key. What is the definition of unique key? First of all, it will prevent duplicate data from the column. Duplicate data entry in the column will be prevented, prohibited, restricted. But remember, unique allow null values. This is something primary key never allowed. And one more thing about primary key I forgot to tell you. I will, but after completing unique keys. Okay. What is the second difference between primary and unique key? Table can have only one primary key, but unique keys can be many. Okay, fine. So contact number, which is a string here, let us declare this column also to be unique. it's correct, people. For example, not only my ID is unique, but also my PAN card number, Aadhaar card number, license number, passport number. I have so many other identities which are unique, correct? Yes, correct. Fine, not only my guys, employee ID or customer ID, alone ID will be unique. No, there are so many other columns which can also have unique data. But primary key can only be one. So what is the solution? Other columns, let them be unique. Yes, unique key is more than one. As Raj Kamal has mentioned in the chat box. Got it? Fine. So let me create this table with one primary key and two unique keys. Yup, table got created. Now check. Insert into student values. What values? Student roll number 1. Name Raj. Contact number, say 9820111222. I execute this. Cool. Data got accepted. So see, it shows you here one row affected. Okay. Alright. This time roll number is 2. Or let me not keep that. Let me copy paste it. Roll number is 2. Name is Raj. Phone number I change it. It throws an error. Duplicate data entry for Raj. Understood? Duplicate data entry. People, आपको चाहिए तो null भले रखो. I translate into English. You want, you better declare it as null. But don't use Raj again. Raj is a unique data now. इसके लिए उसको unique बनाया. That's the reason we made it unique. Correct? But so if I write it null to leave that column, it is fair to accept. It accepted. You understood? Right? So this is what how does unique key work. Select star from student table. You look. Student number 1, Raj, so and so contact number. Student number 2, name is null, and so and so contact number. Alright, fine. Very soon we are going to come up with a series of machine learning and data science courses wherein you will realize how this null values is a big hurdle and how we guess and insert some temporary data there for analysis. Is that clear? Fine. So this is the difference between primary and unique key. Quickly summarize. Table can have only one primary key, but table can have multiple unique keys. Both primary and unique key stores only unique values. Primary key do not allow null values at all, but unique keys allow null values. Is that correct? Fine. Okay, so that's all about the unique key. Okay. What if I have forgotten, people? What if I have forgotten to let me say add a unique key when I created the table? That means you have to alter the table now, right? You have to alter the table. For example, let me drop this table student. Yes. No. Primary key is not only one column nahi. Raj Kamal. Primary key can be group of columns as well, but you can declare it only once. Okay, like this. Like this. Drop table student. Okay, so create table student. Say SID integer, SName varchar 10 and contact number varchar 10. Okay, so now the table contains no constraint, correct? There is no column who is a primary key and no column who is a let me say the, what should I call it as, unique keys here. Then can we declare null as small letter or not? No, Manjot. No. Null has to be declared as a capital null only. Understood? Null has to be declared as a capital null only. Although SQL in MySQL is not case sensitive, so it should not give you an error. Alright, but ideally that's how the ethics follow. You have to declare it in capital letter. Okay, good question, Manjot. Fine, okay. Let me answer Rajkamal's problem here. So how can we do that? Alter table student. Add constraint. Suppose let me give some name to the constraint. Say pk id, which is a primary key. Now I want id and name both as a primary key. So how will you do that? SID, S name. Understood? But primary key, these two column को मिला के बनेगा. It will join the two columns and make it. Are you understanding it? SID, S name. That way. See, it got executed. Alright. For example, let me tell you this way. Teacher number 1 teaches teacher ID 1 teaches for example geography. Okay, teacher number 1 teaches science. Teacher number 1 also teaches history. Okay, so this is teacher ID and teacher subject. So ID and subject together identifies the rows. Understood? दोनों मिलकर पूरा रो रिकॉर्ड आइडेंटिफाई करेगा. This is teacher ID and teacher का subject. Okay. Now suppose teacher number 2 he teaches history. Teacher number 2 teaches for example computer. Okay. So 2 history, this is together will identify the complete row ahead. Okay. So this is how we say primary key is only one. It can be created by combining multiple columns. Now, what about unique key? Now, once you say, look, what error will come now? Alter table student, add constraint primary key as contact number. आप समझ रहे बात what I'm doing? And it gives me error. Multiple primary key defined. Rajkamal, are you understanding what is an error? Primary key can only be one. Understood? Primary key itself, primary key as a constraint can only be one. But this constraint can be made by grouping multiple columns. Now clear? Waiting for your reply. Constraint primary key एक ही होगा. बट ये कंस्ट्रेंट एक से ज्यादा कॉलम को मिलाकर बनेगा या बन सकता है. Alright, fine. So contact number you want, you can declare it as a unique key. Okay, you want, you can declare it as a unique. And suppose there is one more column. Come on, add one more column in the table. Alter table student, add column, say customer or student marks, which is integer. Understood? Now the table already has one unique key, which is contact number. And suppose I want to make marks also a unique key. So alter table student, add constraint. Okay, these names we define, names of the constraint. Okay. Unique. Whom you want to declare unique this time? Marks. Okay, I want marks as unique. So we say enter. Now but see, the query got executed. Why? Because unique is already one. But unique can be more than one. So marks is unique, contact number is unique. Right? So constraint primary key is only one. That doesn't depend upon how many column it is joining to become a constraint. Got it now? Fine. Okay. Similarly, you want, you can drop the unique constraint by saying alter table student. Okay. Drop constraint umarks. Yes, Is that clear? Drop constraint you. Why you can't write drop unique key now? The way we had deleted primary key. Remember, drop primary key. No, you just can't simply drop unique key because there are more than one unique keys. Therefore, which one to drop, you have to write the name of the unique key. Is it clear? Fine. Because primary key was only one, deleting primary key means the same one would be deleted, that is for sure. But unique keys are more than one. Which one to delete, you have to mention the name of that unique key. Is that clear? Fine. So this is how primary keys and unique keys work. Okay. Now coming to the point of Manjot, people. Okay. जो Manjot ने पूछा. So insert. First of all, let me describe how many table columns are there. Insert. Describe. Student. Okay. So student ID, student name, contact number and marks. Fine. So insert into student values. Student ID, for example, student number 5. Student name, say is Wilson. Then contact number. Okay, let me write contact, but it is null, right? Okay, I will do one thing. Check. Let me drop the table student. And let me create a new table. I'm not writing the query, friends. I'm using the same written query. Create table student, student ID, student name and the contact number. Okay. So the table got created. I insert one row. Insert into student boys and girls values. Okay. Suppose if I write a null. Roll number null because it's not a primary key right now. Student name say Prakash and contact number suppose something like this. Okay. So insert into student so and so values, and if you say select start from, okay, that means it worked. If Manjot is here, समझा नहीं कराज कमल, आप बहुत ही ठीक पढ़ाते मैम, आपका चैनल इंक्रीज कर दे जल्द. व्हाट यू वांट मी टू गो, मतलब इतना डीप नहीं पढ़ना है ऐसा? Like we didn't get your point actually. Okay, if you could go in a little more deep to explain us, so it would help us to understand. Like you don't want this deep explanation? Okay, fine. Write your comment in the chat section so that we get to know what exactly you want. Okay, I go ahead from here. Okay, fine. आपका channel increase करे जल्द means you want the speed to be little increased, right? I understood. You want the speed to be little increased, correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Alright, this is to Manjot. Manjot, the null with small letters are working. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let's see the most important one coming up. What is a foreign key? Foreign key. Now, suppose there are two tables. One table is 1 meter. Okay, let's take this way. One table is a product table. So, create table product called as product ID and product name. That's it. And let's take product color. Okay. I just insert 3 rows into the product table. Insert into product values. Product number 1, which is pen, color is black. Okay, and product number 2. Chalo. Actually, Rajkamal, the issue is what, some of our friends here are coming from absolutely non-IT background. Like some of the people whom I know here, like they are coming here from BMS and BCom, and they have never got exposed to coding, right? So if I do not go into that depth, people won't understand. Fine. Okay, in the future, but I will keep your recommendation. In the future, we will distinguish it as people who are coming from IT and people who are coming from non-IT. Right? So the people who are from IT background here will keep a speed little faster. Okay, chalo. So insert into product values. Okay, 3 values I insert. Product number 2, product number 3, pencil and eraser. Okay, black, suppose blue, and suppose white. Okay, let me run these all queries together. Friends, I want the first column to be a primary key. Okay, I select these and I run this. What happened? Table 2 product does not exist. Okay, let me run this. Table got created. Let me insert. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Duplicate entry for 3. I think it got insert. 1 minute. Select star from product. Okay, I think the record number 3 is already inserted here. Record number 1 is not. Okay, so select star from product. Check. Okay, so there are 3 products. Okay, now I create one more table called as sales table. Okay, so create table sales, or let me say order table, people, orders. Okay, in which I will have order ID, product ID, and amount. Are you getting it? Fine. Now, how do I want data in this table? Order table. Insert into orders, values. Order number 1 has sold product number 2. Whose product number 2? If you could see the table up, product number 2 means pencil. Okay, so order number 1 has sold product number 2. Suppose amount is total 100 rupees. Okay, similarly, ध्यान से देखो people, डेटा ध्यान से देखिए, ध्यान से देखते जाइए. Order number 2 has sold product number 3, 30 rupees. Order number 3 has sold product number 1, again 100 rupees. Order number 4, okay, order number 4 has sold again product number 2, say 50 rupees. Are you understanding? Fine. In order number 5, guys, डेटा देखिए आप, डेटा क्या इंसर्ट होता है वो देखिए. Order number 5 has sold again product number 2. Yes, product number 2 is sold so many times. Maybe the customers are different, correct? Many people come to my shop to purchase pencils or pens and eraser. So definitely one product can be sold to many customers in different sales, right or not? Okay, so done. Now, if you could do like this, select star from orders. Okay, so this is how it shows. Order number 1 has sold product number 2. Order number 2, order number 3, 4, and order number 5 has sold again product number 2. People, now by mistake what I did is, I say insert into orders values. Suppose order number 6 has sold product number 10 which costed rupees 500. I do enter the poor table accepted also. If you check now, check the table, see what it shows. Order number 6 has sold product number 10, but unfortunately there is no product number 10 in the product table. Is that correct? See, if you could do select star from product, select star from product. Okay, there are only 3 products, product number 1, product number 2, product number 3. जब प्रोडक्ट नंबर 4, 5, 6, 7 हम बेचते ही नहीं है तो आपका सेल्स या ट्रांजैक्शन रिकॉर्ड करता कैसा है? आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग माय क्वेश्चन हियर? व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ कंसर्न? मुद्दे की बात क्या है? हमारी शॉप दुकान में है ही 4 प्रोडक्ट या 3 प्रोडक्ट, so how can you write in the bill product number 10 was sold? Correct? So we have to restrict this kind of mistakes to happen. Therefore we declare foreign keys. Okay, now what is a foreign key? Primary key from one table goes or enters as foreign key into another table. That's called as a foreign entry. Na? We say is a foreigner, मतलब बाहर से आया है. Is it right? That's called as a foreign entry. Right? So primary key from a parent table makes a foreign entry into another table, just to keep a check that any other mishandled data is not entered. Is that clear? Fine. So that you do not enter any primary key which is not there in the parent table. We have to declare it to be a foreign key. Okay, check it out how. ये कैसे करेंगे आप? Right? So what do we do is, we already have a product table here, correct? For some time I delete the order table. Although I can alter also later for some time. Okay, now this is my product table, correct? Who is the primary key of the product table? PID. Acha, I want that this column product ID as a foreign key. So what will I do? See how to declare the foreign key here. First create all the columns in the table. OID, product ID, amount. After all the columns have been created, give a comma and write foreign key in this table is product ID. Understood? That is PROD ID. इस टेबल में ये तीनों कॉलम में से फॉरेन की कौन है? प्रोडक्ट आईडी. For those who didn't understand, out of these 3 columns, boys and girls, OID, product ID, amount, foreign key is product ID. References, this is a keyword. We understand reference, correct? Means this column product ID is a reference given to table name and in the bracket column name. PID column of product table. Alright, check. There are 2 column names we are using. Foreign key. This column in my table is a foreign key. Order table says that मेरी table में in my table this column product ID जो मैंने इधर अभी बनाया, right now I created this column. I want foreign key by giving reference to PID column of the product table. Alright, video, audio, all fine I hope, and you are better understanding. Okay, let's check. Okay, the table got created. Now try to enter the rows. Come on. Insert record number 1. Where product ID, look at the second number 2. Product ID is 3, executed. Product ID is 1, executed. Product ID is 2, executed. Product ID is again 2, executed. Okay. Product ID is 10, error. Why? Cannot update because foreign key constraint failed here. You understanding? Foreign key has restricted this kind of content to be added. because 10 not found in the parent table. I hope this is clear. ID 10, people product ID 10 parent table में मिला ही नहीं, to give it a link into the foreign table, right? So that's called as nothing but a foreign key. Is that clear, all of us? Fine. I just take one more minute and I give you one last example. Hurry up. What do you mean by foreign key? Okay, look. Suppose there are two tables, student table and a marks table. So I say create table, student ID, which is an integer, and student name, which is a string. Always remember, to declare a foreign key, the column must be a primary key first. Okay. If a column is not a primary key, you can never declare it as a foreign key. Okay. So create, okay, table already exists, sorry. Drop table student. Okay, so create table student, primary key and name. Insert into student. I'm just going to insert two rows. Insert into student values. 1, John. 2, Jack. Okay, so there are only two students. Now help me to declare student ID as a foreign key of other table. Guess the code on your own. Before I could complete writing the code, you should guess it. So create table, marks, roll number, int, marks. More than two tables में foreign key लगानी हो तो चलेगा ना राजकमल? Doesn't matter if that's more than two tables. Okay, it's fine. If time permit, I will practically show you how to do that. See, student marks. Okay, marks is also an integer. But roll number 1 has scored, for example, out of 500. Let me write here. Insert into marks values. Say roll number 1 has scored 300. Assuming out of 500. Okay, marks. Okay, roll number 2, suppose total 400. Understood? And roll number 3, say 500. Are you getting it? Fine, 500. No, but how can you say roll number 3 has scored 500? There is no roll number 3 in the class, correct? Roll number 3, the student with ID 3 does not exist. So what should we do? We should make roll number as a foreign key. Now my table already exists. Let us alter this table to make roll number as a foreign key. Getting it? Dropping the table and creating it one more time is always an option. That is always an option, but let us see how to use alter query to alter the table and include the foreign key. So we say alter table, marks, add constraint, give some constraint name, although it is not useful to us. Say foreign key ID. Okay, you can give as simple name as ABC also. Which column you want to make a foreign key? So foreign key should be roll number. Foreign key should be roll number by giving references to student table SID column, correct? Because student ID will go as a foreign key into roll number. So this is SID. Declare it. Okay, the problem is what, this row is giving us an error. Because if it tries to add a foreign key, it will not find roll number 3 anywhere. So let me delete this row from the table. Delete from marks where roll number is equal to 3. Now if you try to run the query, Fail to open the reference table student. I hope the table student exists. Okay, table student does not exist because I have not executed it yet, I think. Okay, table student does not exist, guys. Okay, the query executed now. Is that correct? Fine. Rajkamal, if you want to give foreign key in more than 2 table. So suppose there is a library table now. Library table. So create table library. Say student ID integer. Student, suppose library details, or let me say number of books issued from the library. Same, again student ID here is a foreign key. By giving references to student tables SID column. Done. So the table got created. Alright, you can also make primary key as foreign key, then primary key as foreign key, then primary key as foreign key from different tables to go. So there is no limit how many tables will have how many foreign keys. One table can have 10 foreign keys, more than 10. Understood? Fine. 2 tables में foreign key हो तो this is way how we can do it. Okay. One table can have foreign keys from 2 different tables also. Like student ID from student table, customer ID from customer table. Like a sales table, people. Sales will have customer ID as a foreign key from customer table. Product ID as a foreign key coming from product table. I hope you're getting my point. Is that clear? Or you want me to show you some more example about foreign keys? Would that work? Would that work, or should I give you one more example of foreign key with 3 tables? Do you want me to give you example of foreign keys with 3 tables? Come on, be frank. If you want me to give you example of foreign key with 3 tables, look, quickly have a look. See. Quickly have a look. We say create table. Product. Product ID, integer, primary key. And product name, which is a string. Okay, let's take only two columns. Create table, customer. Customer ID is an integer, which is a primary key, and customer name is a string. Okay, now create table. Okay, I think product table was already existing. It did not create. Okay, now product table is created and customer table is also created. Right? Now I say create table orders. I deleted the existing table that was giving me an error. Same table cannot have 2 tables by the same name. Okay, Ashok, thank you. Fine. Have a look. See, I created a table product. Everyone have a deep focus. See, I created one table product. I created one table customer. Now how my order table goes? See, create table order. Order ID, integer, and a primary key. Product ID, integer. Customer ID, integer. Amount, integer. Now, in this table, product ID is a foreign key coming from product table PID column. Right? So that I don't enter any product number in the sales which does not exist in the parent table. order table means what? Like a bill, na guys? कौन से ऑर्डर में कौन सा प्रोडक्ट बिकता है और किस कस्टमर को बिकता है, we should have an information, correct? Right? So order ID, then comes product ID, customer ID, amount. But product ID is a foreign key from product table, customer ID is a foreign key from customer table. How will you code? Help all my friends who are present here, help. Coding कैसा करेंगे आप? So product ID, sorry, foreign key. In this table is a column product ID, which is created by giving references to product table PID column. Are you understanding? So this column is a foreign key in the order table, which is created by giving references to PID column of the product table. Right? Now what about cust ID? This is again a foreign key by giving references to CID column of the customer table, correct? Right? So how will you write the code? Again, foreign key in this table is a column customer ID. This is created by giving references. You understand reference ना? Ideally we use the word reference. उसकी पहचान, उसके reference से आया हूँ. That is what is the meaning of the word reference. Fine. So foreign key is a customer ID which is given a link behind or reference behind to customer table CID column. Is that clear now? Fine. So there are two foreign keys in the same table. I execute. Okay, failed to open the table customer. I think the table did not create or what, I don't know. Let me check please. Table customer. Okay. Yes, it got created. Clear? Fine. So if I could copy this query and show you in one go on a notepad how it looks like. See how it looks like. Okay, so create table order. These are the columns of the table: order ID, product ID, customer ID, amount. And there are two foreign keys in the table, one coming from product ID, one coming from customer ID. Rajkamal, Ashok, Manjot, in case if you people are here, is this understood? Fine. Okay, then I show you something else. Okay, two more constraints. Let me show you. Two more. We started with the constraint which is primary key. Then I showed you unique key. Then I showed you foreign key. Okay, let me now show you something called as default. Okay, and not null both. So let me say create table books. Okay, say book ID. This is integer and a primary key. Book name, varchar, say of the size 10. Now, if you write null, this column will accept null values. So you can call it as not null. Means this is not allowed to be kept null. That is what is the meaning of not null. Not null is applied at a column level. You want any number of columns in the table, you can keep it as not null. So it will prohibit null values in the column. Right? Check insert into books values. Book number 1 null. Column cannot be null. Is that clear? This column cannot be null. The reason why it cannot be null because you have declared the constraint that is not null. Is that clear? Fine. This is how we declare a particular column as not null. See, sometimes because unique keys, okay, because unique keys are always unique keys do accept not nulls. I'm sorry, unique keys accept null values. Am I right? You want, you can force a unique key to accept not null also. How? How? Look, I drop the table. Book name, and suppose book code, which is again a string. This column is unique and not null. Means you can give two constraints at a time. Are you understanding? Fine. See, book code, this column we have given two constraints at a time. This is unique because unique allows null, but you don't want this unique to allow null. So after unique we have written it as not null. Is that correct? Fine. Sometimes what we want, say create table author. One is book table, one is author table. Say author ID, which is a primary key. Author name, which is varchar 10. And suppose I give some default name, say Raj. Okay, this is another constraint called as default. Can we declare more than one not? Yes, Ashok, yes. You can declare more, as many you want, you can declare it as not null. Okay, I think, see, in this case I have declared two of them as not null. Na? B name is also not null and book code is also not null. It is unique as well as not null, means two constraints together. But overall not null in this table is used two times, correct? Overall not null is used two times. Fine. You don't have to write primary key as not null because primary key by default is already not null. You got it? By default primary keys are already not null. So you don't have to declare it. Okay? Fine. Come on, let's go ahead from here. What is the meaning of default? So even if you forget to give the author name, the default name of the author will be Raj. Okay. Check the table. So I say insert into author values author number 1 and I don't give the author name. One minute. Okay, I think this table did not get created. It got created. One minute. Let me drop this table. There is some issue. Okay, look this way, people. Look this way. Look this way. I show you one good example of default. Suppose I create a table. Forget about all this example. Take here. Say I create a table. Okay, say cities. Okay, let us call it a city ID. Primary key. Okay, and city name, which is a string. Okay, let me create this table. The table got created. Insert 3 rows quick. So we say insert into cities values. So city number 1, let's call it as Paris. City number 2, let's call the city as Tokyo. Okay. City number 3, let's call it as Berlin. Is that clear? Now if you check the city table, okay, primary key is repeating, it's giving me an error. So there are total 3 cities. Right, now I alter the table and add one more column. So alter table, cities, add column country to whom this city belongs. So country name, so add column country, which is varchar, for example 10. Okay, or let me keep it as 20. Country name could be longer. But what is the problem? Because this column was newly added, you see country is blank for already existing row, correct? Because we added this column in the end. We added this column. What can we do is, जब कभी आप ऐसा अलग से column add करते हो, alright, whenever we add more than one column later, so first of all let me delete this column. Okay, so there is no column country now. Now when I add this column, I give some default value. Say name of the country is ABC. Okay, you can write any proper default value also, say Japan, Tokyo, or Australia, something like that, or India, alright, or Kenya, for example. Now if you say select star from cities, so column got not only added but with some default values. Is that correct? Of course, we can update these rows one by one. To put the proper country names, but at least the column was not created with null values for existing rows. Is it right? One column country was not at least created with null values for existing. कम से कम वो null value के साथ तो नहीं create हुआ. That's what I want to say. That's the use of null values. Okay, fine. Now before I could wind off today, let's try one more thing. Say create drop table borders. Drop table product. I create one small new product table. It's very interesting. Have a look, please. So we say create table product. Say product ID integer, which is a primary key also. It's always a good habit to keep a primary key. But I want to show you something. See, primary key and later I write auto increment. Okay, after primary key, I have declared this column PID as auto increment. You have to tell me later what does it mean. What does it mean? Come on, comma, say product name, say varchar 10 and price, which is an integer. Are you getting it? Fine. Now I want price only greater than 100. You understood? Fine. $100, €100 or £100. Price column should accept products, only those products whose price is greater than 100. So what can I do is I can write here check price greater than 100. Okay, so this is another constraint we are putting upon the column price integer, and check if this price is greater than 100. Fine. Is this query clear? I just copy this query on the notepad. Create table product where first column is a primary key and it has been made to auto increment. We'll see what is the meaning of auto increment now. Okay. Product name and product price. Right? Price is an integer, but there is a check constraint upon it. Check only if price is greater than 100. So let's check how it works. Table has been created. So I say insert into product values. Say name of the product is pen. 1 minute. I'll tell you why did I do that. And price of the product is 450. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this auto increment. I'll show you auto increment in a while. Drop this table. Create this table again. Drop table product. I created the table again. So let me take say column number 1. Pen. We'll see one by one. Okay. First of all, I deleted auto increment and I'm showing you only check constraint. Got it? Fine. So product number 1 who is pen and the price is 450. Accepted. But product number 2. Friends, product number 2. Suppose the product is pencil and the price is only 50. It failed. It says that check constraint has been violated. You understood check constraint? Why? Because it will check for the price only if it is greater than 100. It will include it as a row. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Is the check constraint understood, people? Right? So I want to create I want to accept only those age where age is greater than 18. Understood? In the age column, I want to accept age only if it is greater than 18. 18 साल के ऊपर आपकी उम्र है तो I will accept it. So this is how the check constraints are used. Okay. Very soon I am going to release some assignments to people who are interested to solve. Wherein you will get a plenty of practice question to solve these. This is how, but we use the check constraint. Okay, now something about auto increment, people. How does that auto increment work? Suppose I create a table. Customer ID integer. It's a primary key as well as I have made it to auto increment. Okay, now auto increment means what? If I say insert into customer values. Okay, I think my safe code is created me an issue again. Fine, what will I do? I'll get permanently rid of this safe code wala issue on my system. And I'll repeat this query of auto increment again to you tomorrow. In case if I forget to do that, please remind me to do so. Alright, I have some issues with this safe mode again and again happening. So let me get rid of that safe mode one issue. Is it fine? That's okay. Auto increment was just an additional thing that I was showing to you. Otherwise, we have covered up all the constraints that you will need in SQL. Primary key, unique key, not null, default, foreign key as well as check. Is that clear? Fine. Okay, now before I could wind off the class today, I would just like to throw you some lights about operators. These are the operators. Arithmetic operator, logical operator and comparison operators. Very simple. Arithmetic operator. What do you mean by operator? The one who performs the operation. Okay, the one who performs the operation. I hope you got my point. 1 minute. Somebody is asking for the link of the lecture. Just give me a moment of time. Okay, please, I'm coming back to you. The one who performs the operation. Like, if I want to add two numbers, alright, if I want to add two numbers, so A plus B or 10 plus 20, so that plus becomes nothing but an operator, the one who performs addition operation. Okay, so let me quickly show you how do we do that. I just write here select 5 plus 10. That's it. It's not necessary that always you're going to select from the table only. Just select 5 plus 10. What is 5 plus 10? That is 15. Is that clear? Okay, you want to give some proper column name to this 5 plus 10 because whatever expression you write will be set as a column name. Right? Whatever expression you are writing is meant to set as a column name. So if you want to write some column name to this, you can simply use an alias, that is S. Total. Got it? So 5 plus 10 selected as total. Similarly, 5 minus 10. Is that correct? 5 into 10, that's the product. Okay. Similarly, 5 divided by 10. That's the division. Okay. Suppose I write 10 divided by 15. Okay, so that's a recurring number. So let me say 10 or this way. This way, people 25 divided by 4. Or let me do this way. Okay. 8 divided by 6. Okay, so this is what answers I get. Right? Now what is the meaning of 8 divided by 6? It returns you the quotient. But there is one more arithmetic operator that is called as modulus. We write it as percentage, but we read it as modulus. Mod, people, mod or modulus. What it does, it divides 8 by 6, but it returns the remainder. Understood? See, if 6 is divided by 8, 6 ones are 6, how much remains? 2 remain. If 8 gets divided by 6, so 6 ones are 6. Remainder is how much? 2 is the remainder, correct? So that, therefore it returns you answer as 2. Guess what? Now, if I try to divide 8 by 5, but I don't use division, I use modulus. Right? 8 को 5 से divide करोगे तो 5 ones are 5. 8 minus 5, how much remains? 3 remain. Correct. So if division returns the final answer, modulus always returns the remainder of the division. Got it? Yes, remainder always returns the remainder, or let me say modulus always returns the remainder of the division. Correct? Fine. Okay, I will be using modulus operator tomorrow into much more depth with many more examples to get them clear. And if it is still not clear, please put it as your comment in the chat box. I will throw more light upon it. So these are the different arithmetic operators. Now look, comparison operators. Okay, these are a little strange in, let me say, it's from my SQL. Okay, so select, or let me write like this. Select 5 equal to 6 as result. Okay, no, comparison equal to is called as a comparison operator. It compares value on the left side with the value on the right side. Okay, those of my friends who are coming here from C, C++, Java, there we make use of double equal to. Okay, in case if you have come up from these backgrounds, equal to. No, but in SQL, a single equal to is a comparison operator. So is 5 equal to 6? 0 means it returns false. But is 6 equal to 6? 1. That means it returns true. Acha. Exclamation on equal to, that is called as a not equal to operator. Check, is 6 not equal to 6? 1. That means, okay, 0. That means false. Is 6 not equal to 6? It is false. 6 is equal to 6, correct? What happens if I write 7 here? True or false? Is 6 not equal to 7? Bataiye. 6, is it not equal to 7? Yes, true. 6 is not equal to 7. Similarly, is 6 less than 7? 1. Correct, true. Is 6 greater than 7? 0. That means false. Is that clear? Fine. So you will have two more operators, not less than and not greater than. So is 6 not less than 7? False. I think my self-update is showing me the issue. Anyways, fine. I'll keep that problem solved and execute these two operators again tomorrow. Otherwise, this is called as not less than and not greater than. Okay, you won't require them too often. Understanding the first 6 operator is also more than enough. Okay, equal to, that is for checking the comparison. Not equal to, less than, greater than. There is one more operator which is called as less than equal to. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? Answer is true. 6 is less than 7. But even if I write excited, it still gives me true. Because of course 7 is not less than 7. But 7 is definitely equal to 7. Is it correct? 7 is not less than 7, but 7 is definitely equal to 7. Is that correct? Fine. So similarly, if I write not less than but greater than equal to, 7 is not greater than 7, but it is still equal to 7. Is that correct? Fine. Now tomorrow when I meet you back, people, we will complete this category logical operator. It will take time. I will have to execute many tables here. And operator, between, in, like, not, or. Okay, so let me inform you right now what are we going to cover up tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we will be at a 1 level high standard paper. हमारा standard ऊपर होगा, will be a 1 level high standard. Make sure that whatever we have done in the first 2 days at a little slow speed or at least a normal speed, you are able to catch up. पढ़कर आइए, practice करके रखिए. Fine. So tomorrow first of all we are going to do logical operators. Then we will go on aggregation. This topic will take time. Aggregations means group by clause, having clause, over clause. Okay. After that we will go to joins. Okay. Inner join, outer join, self join, left join, right join. Okay, fine. And after this we will go to analytics. Okay, lead, lag, first value, last value, how to use that. I hope you got the point. Is it fine? Let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. Okay, all that we have learned today, because we are running short of time. Quick recap. Okay, one more important thing I forgot to tell you. Tomorrow we will also do data types. Different data types in Python. Right? So this is for day 3 coming up. This content is for day 3. I made it very clear to today itself. Okay, fine. Let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. First, we started from alter and update as DDL and DML commands. Okay, 3 things that alter can do: add a new column or add a new constraint, modify the column or modify the column constraint, drop the column or drop the constraint. Because it plays around with the structure of the table, it comes in a DDL group. Then update, it cannot alter the table, but it can edit the data inside the table. Correct? Next, fast hurry up. Next, what we started up with, constraints. Primary key. The table can have only one primary key. Primary key are always unique. Means it holds only unique data. It doesn't allow duplicate values. Is it right? Primary keys don't allow null values. Primary key should always be auto-generated. Tomorrow I'll show you what you mean by auto-generated. Okay, because of my safe mode was not allowing me to work with some queries there. Okay, अच्छा, unique keys, there can be more than one unique key in the table. एक से ज़्यादा हो सकती है, more than one unique key. Unique keys allow null values. And if you don't want to allow null value, then after unique you have to write not null. Is that correct? Then we moved on to foreign key. More than what is foreign key, we have to understand why do we need foreign key. So that you don't enter any wrong value in the other table which does not exist in the master table. Okay, for example, I teach 10 subject, then how can you write subject number 11 for me? Is that correct? Fine. I work at two places, then how can you write workplace number 3 for me? I work in only one department, then how can you write department number 2 for me? So that this kind of wrong values are not accepted. We declare primary key from one table as a foreign key to another table. To supervise कोई wrong data enter तो नहीं होता है. That's about the foreign key. Foreign key in the round bracket name of the column you want to make it as a foreign key. Then followed by references keyword to give reference to which table and which column. Is that correct? Okay, default is to give some default values when you create a column so that it doesn't create a column with blank values. Check is to add a constraint to allow the values only in a specified condition. Is that clear? Right? I hope you have liked our session. In case if any doubt, please put it up here in the chat box. We would be glad to answer you. Alright, and do not forget to like, share, subscribe our channel. Please spread it as a word of mouth to others of your friends also. Most of the courses that we are providing here is absolutely free. Let many of the people and friends around you take benefit out of it. Is that clear? Fine? Okay. Goodbye. I shall be still here for another 1 minute after ending the session. In case if any doubt, please post it. Alright? Fine. And do not forget to like the video. Alright? Fine. Okay, very soon I'm going to post some people. The most important thing I forgot to tell you. Assignment questions or the daily practice questions. Okay, we are going to share daily practice questions on our Facebook and Insta link. So try to be connected with us and follow us at Facebook, Insta as well. Okay, that's all. Goodbye. See you back tomorrow. Study hard, prepare hard, and yes, stay faster than AI. Okay.